Good morning and welcome to Mojo Designs, and today we're going to be creating a card using some paper romance stamps. This one is by Crafting Kimmy and it's called Rapunzel. I love Crafting Kimmy stamps, and paper romance carries a bunch of different styles of Crafting Kimmy. They also have a bunch of High Hopes stamps, which I'm having fun adding to my collection and coloring them. But this image, one of my favorite artists, Kim Hughes, takes line images like this that I would normally color with color pencils, watercolors, Copics, and she leaves them just like a black and white image. So I'm really going outside of my comfort zone in creating this card, and it's more of like a challenge to myself. So I'm not going to color this image at all. And I am going to take some Distress ink just because I can't leave the edges just plain white since I'm not coloring. And I'm doing that to the card and to the image. And the color I'm using is Vintage Photo Distress ink, which is one of my all-time favorites. And my son got a new camcorder for Christmas from his grandpa. And it's like the Flip, but it's the Kodak version. And he allowed me to use this to kind of test it out. So this is really a fabulous toy for him. All right, now I'm going to be adding some ribbon. I want to keep that image to the left-hand side. This is my last piece of green silk ribbon from May Arts. Some of my favorites. I can't find it anymore. And I'm going to tie a bow. I could have fast forwarded through this part because I'm not like the perfect bow maker, but I left it in just for those of you who have asked me before how I tie my bows. Now here I pulled in the tail so that both my tails are on the same side. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. I felt like doing that this time around, so that's why I did that. That way both my tails are on the same side. Here you'll see me just fussing with it, and it's not necessarily perfect, but I normally don't go for the perfect bow. Sorry that my hand was covering that. And here's the image, and I want to, this is really hard for me. This truly was a challenge. And here I decide to get some pattern paper. So you'll see that in a minute. I just could not have color. And the paper that I'm using is by Cosmo Cricut, and it's the circa 1934. And here you'll see I'm just kind of flipping through, and I ended up choosing a blue pattern that's in the back. The red would have looked fabulous too, even the yellow. And I love the font on that red and black with all the letters and numbers. So I chose this one. Right there is my favorite paper out of the pack, and I've used it all up, and else I would have used that. So I'm going to cut that to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to take the Distress ink and just go around the edges, just like the other two. So that there is continuity. And slip it under just like that. Just grabbing my ATG gun. I love this gun. This tape runner adhesive. Got it stuck to the back. Whoops. That was easy. Now I'm going to take some pop dots, and I ran out of my normal Pop Dots, which is either, I think, like the Fiskars brand or the Stampin' Up. And I have these adhesive, I'm not even sure where I got them, but they're like a 1/4 of an inch thick. Normally I use 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch. And I go a little crazy. In some of my videos, I go crazy with Pop Dots. This is another one. I wanted to make sure that there were plenty. You really don't need this many, but I tend to do this quite often. If I'm mass producing, I don't do this many Pop Dots. And I was thinking because they're rectangular, you know, I don't know. I have no way to justify that many Pop Dots. It's probably why I run out quite a bit. Now we're going to put that flush left with the pattern paper. So I'm not going all the way to the edge like I was showing in the previous clips. Just going to the left of the pattern paper. And here I decided to put a little circle sentiment right there. And here I use a 1.5 inch punch, circle punch, and I cut it off, you know, I didn't put the whole circle through. I wanted to have one edge plain. And distressing the edges. Then Jennifer McGuire, in one of her videos, she uses her finger for some of the small stamps. I'm going to be doing that here. Here I'm showing you my all-time favorite go-to stamp set, and it's Mega Mix Messages by Papertrey Ink. It's one of my favorites. I seem to be pulling this out over and over and over again. And I'm using 2 of the stamps. It says Smile Friend, which is one of my favorite sentiments. And Jennifer McGuire, I've seen her do this on her videos, and I didn't want to find my small acrylic block or an acrylic block. So I'm using my finger because it's a photopolymer. It does stick. And easy as that. And so now I'm picking up Friend. I'm pressing it down. Here I let it offset a little bit. So I thought, I'm going to fix that by doing it on the other end, and we're just going to pretend that that's how it's supposed to be. Well, I did it wrong. So there's the second side. So flipping it over, and we're just going to pretend that that didn't happen. We all make mistakes. So here we go again. And this time there's, a little variation with the strength of the ink, and I like how that turned out. So then I'm just going to apply my adhesive to the back, and this card will be finished. I'm also running a blog candy from today till the 26th of December, where you can leave a comment on YouTube or at my blog, and my blog is listed below, to win a $10 gift card to Paper Romance. So here's the finished piece. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.